So just to give you an idea of this is great because I barely, I've worked on this demo in last 2 days. And that's a data point I want to share because when you're talking about streamlining access to agents, it's also about streamlining access to people building those agents and agents building other agents at this point. At Auth0, we believe in a world that if we do security right, the developer shouldn't need to think about security. We should be able to simply build. The background infrastructure should be able to do security, and the user should have trust. And what I really loved is for the past half an hour and an hour, I was hearing the word trust again and again and again, because as Visa, as Apple Pay, as PayPal, and any vendor that has payments and identity, it's all about trust. So let's look at what trust means, right? Today, if you could have a consumer website, and in this demo, this website was vibe-coded with a lot of V0, a lot of applications. It's protected by Auth0 today. And when we talk about trust, consumers trust familiar experiences. So they know that they're going to go in, they're going to add items to the cart, they're going to click checkout, and maybe they'll sign in with Auth0, or maybe they'll just go straight to Stripe and do a guest checkout. All of this works on this demo. Now, how do we take that, a familiar retail experience, and Consumer Reports did an amazing demo. We just saw a demo of buying data. How do we take that and make consumers more comfortable? And how do we provide the foundational building blocks to make that possible? Now, MCP is the buzzword, unless you are not on Twitter or LinkedIn or basically living completely outside the AI bubble. MCP has created a lot of buzz, and people are talking about MCP as a solution to this connectivity. Personally, we think that there's going to be browser use agents as a transition layer and MCP, and probably 10 different protocols until we get there. But if you did MCP today, you'd have a website with an MCP server. The end consumer, again, consumer behavior changes very hard, would need to learn how to add this website as a retail MCP server. They would have to authenticate and authorize, and that's way too much friction. It actually works. So everything in this demo is live, and all URLs, you can actually connect to this MCP server right now, and you can do a payment checkout. And the best experience you could get today, if we do not include something like Skyfire or Visa Commerce, is it would give you a checkout URL, and you go to Stripe, you enter your credit card, so on and so forth. But there's a lot of missing here. So everyone in this room, I'm sure we're familiar with commerce. I'm sure we all buy online. A mandatory login is a dead end for 80% of every retailer. If the end user has to change the behavior and they have to install an app, there goes another 80%. The discoverability of adding every single one of these sites and doing it again and again, people are just going to go to the websites and they're going to use browsers. And most importantly, trust. I did not prop this up with the panel before, but Chase Sapphire, Visa, and Apple Pay. Right? Consumers love the experiences that they're familiar with. So in this demo, what I'm going to show is an art of possible. And everything here is live. So in this demo, instead of using another agent, I'm using my Claude instance. And what I've done is I have packaged the entirety of my demo as a simple tool that's integrated in Claude. And this is this is a wallet, right? So I've given Claude a wallet. Because of the time, I'm going to skip directly to what that looks like in action. The onboarding is already handled by Skyfire. So on the Skyfire side, I have a wallet. I have a bunch of fake money balance. You've seen that there's the Skyfire, when you sign up, will perform the KYA here. So in this case, the scenario is that has already been set up. So I'm going to ask it, hey, I'm trying to buy furniture. Can you find some furniture for me? Again, this is going to be, and just add one item to cart. It'll be faster so that I don't have to bore you guys. But now, when it works, it's going to use its catalog, it's going to discover services, and then it's going to try to find services that are MCP compatible. Once it finds a service that's MCP compatible, it's going to try to connect to that service. So right now, while it's cooking, I can go to the retail website, and I can show you what the retail website works on right now, right? I have an account at the retail website. I can type in a very secure password. If you're in the security industry, you know what I typed there. And I have an account, right? So what we want to do is, because I have performed the KYA, I have performed some kind of an identity verification, I want this agent to be able to get access to my behalf, to make an order, but not be able to see my history, and not be able to interact with my payment credentials. All of that should be limited. So if I look at this, it has discovered the provider, it found the correct retail demo MCP server ID, it found a bunch of furniture, and if I switch back to Skyfire, it should say that it created an identity access token. Behind the scenes, this is actually even more interesting, because what has happened here is the agent obtained a KYA token, exchanged it with the retailer dynamically by discovering support for Skyfire, obtained an access token, connected to the MCP server that otherwise the end user would have had to add, and now it can browse on my behalf. Now I'm going to ask it to add, it has added a Scandinavian coffee table, and I'm going to tell it to, hey, can you check out? And if the demo gods are with us, what it should do is it should first make an HTTP post that for the MCP, which will get a 402. It will catch this 402, mint a payment token, send it back without the agent having to ever see the token, ever interact with any credentials in plain text. And at the end of it all, if I go here, since I'm already signed in, it's finished the order. Now, Gareth, who when I showed this demo to, was like, nobody shops like that, and I totally agree. There's a lot that goes on from where we are today to where we need to be. There's a lot of interesting stuff that's in the works, but I want to capture what we just showed. At Okta and Auth0, we protect thousands of websites. We protect their APIs today. We protect their retail storefronts. We're partnering with, we have a partnership with Shopify where you can add Auth0 as a drop-in gateway in front of Shopify. And we are going to continue to extend to build these tools. We also make it very easy to make MCP servers. And what we showed today means every single one of those MCP servers with a wallet with verifiable credentials can follow this standard protocol and behavior. So this is a technology demonstration, less of like exactly how it should be. Auth0 for MCP is in early access right now, so you can reach out to us if you want to try it out. And the Skyfire integration that I just demoed is a drag and drop in our dashboard, which allows you to use Skyfire identity tokens, not the payment tokens. That probably is on the Visa side. And the amount of code is very simple, right? You ask for a KYA token, and then you can exchange it for an MCP token from Auth0. On the payment side, we help with the SDKs, and everything in this demo, we'll work with Skyfire to open source so that this is a reference implementation. And we would love to collaborate with you if you're building agents, if you're building services that need access on end users' behalf. We're more than happy to work with you.